Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a crazy current events video, and on this video I wanted to talk about this GTA 6 supposed physical release delay, and I'm going to tell you right here from the start, for people that don't have time to watch the whole video, that I think this is BS. I don't think that this is true. I don't think that GTA 6 physical is going to be delayed. Now, I can't tell you the future. I'm not Nostradamus. But I can tell you, from my point of view, I am 99% certain that GTA 6 physical is not being delayed. And so, yes, I could be wrong, but I will provide you with some reasons on why I think that this leak is just, not true, and I think that the physical release is going to come out. And if the physical release does get delayed, I know I'm going to have people that are going to come in this comment section, and they're going to say, oh, ha, 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 you were stupid, you were wrong, stuff like that. But in that case, I will post a pinned comment down below saying that I was wrong, but I personally don't believe this leak. Now, I covered a leak last week. And in that leak last week, I talked about these supposed GTA 6 leaks, and some people got mad at me because they said that, you said that you wouldn't normally cover these leaks unless there's some proof behind it. But the reason that I covered those leaks, it's not that I'm, uploading multiple clickbait videos around it. I was just making a video, breaking it down, explaining what I thought was true in those leaks, what I thought was fake, and I also, explained on that there was some evidence behind that leaks, like the Rockstar employee that got fired 1 month after those leaks basically came out. But anyways, about this is, well, that leak at least had some evidence behind it. This one, I think, has no evidence behind it. I think that this is all BS. I don't think that this is real. This article is in Polish, but I will also translate it into English, and this is where this whole thing is coming from. This whole GTA 6 physical, release delay is originally coming from this Polish article, ppe.pl. I'll link the article down below if anybody else wants to check it out. But what's really pissing me off about this situation is that you have YouTubers out there that are basically spreading around a lot of misinformation around this, and they're saying, like, we know 100% with absolute certainty that GTA 6 physical is getting delayed. No, you don't know with absolute certainty, because it did not come from Rockstar. This is just a leak from some source this Polish website has gotten that supposedly the GTA 6 physical release has been delayed. And the reason that people are saying that the GTA 6 physical release is going to be delayed is because of potential leaks. Rockstar is scared about leakers, and because they are scared about leakers, they might delay the physical release of GTA 6, and they might go only digitally to minimize the risk of leaks. That's basically what's going to happen, because basically what happens is, whenever a game comes out physically, right? When a game does come out physically, what happens when the game comes out physically is you will have certain game stores that might have shipments that got, quote, lost, if you know what I mean. You get shipments that got lost, and then what ends up happening is you have somebody that starts uploading the gameplay basically like a week before, and YouTube ends up taking the videos down, but those videos basically get enough traction that they basically, then people start talking about it online, major, events of the game get spoiled, and so forth. So that tends to happen with physical copies. Rockstar could avoid something like this by requiring an update on day one. It could require an update on day one, and that update, basically what it will do is, if you put the physical copy in before then, the game won't play. You need to download the update on that day when the game comes out in order for it to play the game. They could do something like that. But it doesn't tell me that the game is going to be delayed, and I have a few reasons behind it. But before we get into that, let's read through this article. I'll go through the article because there's a lot of information and I want to cover, and a lot of my points. I got a lot of things to say about this. This is in Polish, and I'll try to read I do speak Polish, for people wondering, but I speak it fluently, but my reading is not the best. I'm just going to try to read the title. GTA 6, a wersja pudełkowa, sprzedawcy zwiastuje smutne wiadomości dla fanów fizycznych wydań. It's talking about sad news going out to gamers about the physical delay. Let me just translate this right here. Yeah, but I know some of my Polish viewers, you're going to make fun of how I pronounce certain things. I do speak the language, but it's a little bit difficult for me to read more. Speaking is a lot easier than reading. GTA 6 and the box version sellers herald sad news for fans of physical releases. Sad news reached the ppe.pl editorial office from a trusted Gracdari, a leaker who in the past has revealed the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 port on PS5, Oblivion Remastered box version, Weather Sonic Racing, Crossworld's NS2 release date. This person who sells physical editions of video games in Europe informed us that the publisher of Grand Theft Auto 6, Take-Two, currently does not plan a boxed edition of Lucia and Jason's story, or at least not the not for the full the premiere due to possible history leaks of games materials, as we saw with The Last of Us 2. According to the first unconfirmed information, GTA 6 will first debut in the digital version on consoles, and only after some time will the production appear in a physical release. The informant does not know whether this will happen a few weeks after the premiere or only in the first half of 2027. One informant says, more and more information is reaching us that the box version will not be released simultaneously with the digital version to prevent leaks. We receive conflicting reports. Some say the physical release will come 3 to 4 weeks after the digital release, while others say won't happen before early 2027. More information will be available in mid-February. So again, even their own information here says that they're getting conflicting reports on this here. When we find out more, we will let you know. And I don't really blame the gaming site. I'm not really attacking them because, they're just basically reporting on what this leaker has said, so it's not really their fault. It's more the fault of the YouTubers who are basically judging this as fact. Let's cover one thing first here, Last of Us 2. So Last of Us 2 had some leaks that happened. I remember when that was 2020. It was the year 2020, I think it was. I remember it was the pandemic when that happened. But those leaks came out in summer of 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And about those leaks those leaks did not even come from a fan. It was actually months beforehand, and I think it was from a developer. Correct me if I'm wrong. But somebody basically leaked, spoilers here. They leaked Joel's death. And that basically got spread around. It caused a lot of outrage in the community, and a lot of people got pissed. And here's the thing about The Last of Us 2, what people don't understand. The controversy with The Last of Us 2 was not about the actual leaks themselves. It was actually what was in the story themselves. People were pissed that Joel, the main character in the first one, basically just dies right at the start of the second game, and then you end up playing as his killer for half the game. Now, whether you like that or not, that's up to you to decide. I'm just telling you why people got pissed over it. So that's why people were really angry about that. It wasn't necessarily about the leaks themselves. It was about what was in the leaks. That's what it was. And that did some damage to the game. It did. There was people who didn't buy the game, including myself, but it was because of what was in the story, because we were pissed about the story. So even if GTA 6 gets leaked, the full story gets leaked tomorrow, everything that happens, who dies, who lives, who betrays you, stuff like that, unless there's something really stupid in there, like something really, really dumb, then it's really not going to affect the sales of the game. So it would only hurt the game is if there was something really bad in the story, like if there was some really bad story writing, and that was the problem with The Last of Us 2. A lot of people said it was really bad story writing. Now, I'm not saying it was good or bad story writing, but I'm just telling you what people said about it. So let me rephrase this right now to you guys, and I'll show you guys some more proof. Let's say right now, for everybody that's watching the video, let's just say for it that GTA 6 gets fully leaked tomorrow, right? The whole story. And I'm not saying this is what happens in the story. I want to be clear. I'm just making stuff up. I'm just making stuff up at the top of my head. Let's just say that Raul, the other bank robber, betrays you, right? Somebody leaks that Raul betrays you. Let's say that somebody else leaks something. Oh, Jason dies saving as Lucia. And then you only play as Lucia at the end of the game. Something like that. Like, that gets leaked. Let's just say that. I'm not saying that happens. I'm just making this up right now. But let's say that happens. If that got leaked tomorrow, and there was somebody that posted footage of it on YouTube, and then, Rockstar ends up taking it down and stuff like that, but the info already got out there. There's articles coming out about that, YouTube channels covering it, the info is already out there. We supposedly know that Jason dies, the leak says. Is that really going to stop you from buying the game? Think about that right now. Is that really going to stop you from buying the game? I mean, would we be pissed if the story got spoiled for us? Sure. I think everybody would be pissed if the story got spoiled for us. That's why a lot of YouTubers, they basically, or not YouTubers, people who are on YouTube, they basically turn off their YouTube app. They don't look at notifications because when big games come out, there's a lot of YouTubers that unfortunately spoil games. They put in clickbaity thumbnails, titles, and they just basically ruin the game with people. So you could just be opening up your YouTube app, you'll be scrolling through a bunch of videos, and then you'll see like major spoilers, and you'll get the story ruined for you. That's why a lot of people turn YouTube off when a game comes out, because they're worried about getting recommended those spoilers when they're in the middle of completing a game. So everybody hates spoilers. People are going to get pissed at spoilers. But if those spoilers did happen, right, and you got spoiled GTA 6 tomorrow, like, would that still stop you from buying the game? I don't think so. I don't think most of us would, avoid buying the game, because we're not just buying GTA 6 for the story. We're buying GTA 6 for everything. We're buying GTA 6 for the gameplay. We're buying it for the huge open map, the world of GTA 6. We're also buying it for the online. So people are buying it for a combination of things. But just because, if the story got leaked, yes, it would hurt the game, but it would not really affect sales. It might, drop down the stock price. That might happen, but eventually that's going to go up, especially with the sale of the game. So literally, it's not going to really affect sales if leaks get out, unless it's something like really bad with the story. And I will tell you this, like, in my personal experience, I can kind of explain this because I got spoiled. When Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, right, in 2018, I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was doing a live stream playthrough. Probably my mistake that I was doing a live stream playthrough. I should have just done a video playthrough, not a live stream playthrough. But what happened was during that live stream playthrough, I had one guy who super chatted me, and when somebody super chats $2, when they super chat under $1, they can't post a message. But when they super chat, over $2, they can type in, whatever they want. And people would just type in, give me like a $2 donation, and they would type in, Micah kills Arthur, the end. Or they would type in, Arthur has tuberculosis, stuff like that. Arthur dies, the end. And I had multiple of these spoilers come up. And the fact that I had multiple of these super chats come up, I knew this is probably what ends up happening. These idiots are trying to ruin the game for me. It was trolls that were coming in my chat that were trying to basically ruin the game for me. And so at that point, I kind of wasn't really surprised when Arthur got sick. When Arthur got tuberculosis, I was like, okay, I know at this point that this is the spoilers are right, what these people are telling me in the chat, and Arthur is going to die, and stuff like that. And so that's why I wasn't really that surprised also when Micah betrayed Arthur, because I kind of saw it coming because people spoil it for me. But here's the thing, even though those idiots spoiled the game for me, I still wanted to finish it. I still liked the story, and I still enjoyed it. So even though I had morons that spoiled the game for me, I still wanted to, at the end of the day, I still wanted to finish it. So the point that I'm getting it to you is that even if the game got leaked, fully tomorrow, most people are still going to, pick up the game, and they're still going to buy it, and they're going to play through it, even if they know basically what's going to happen in the storyline. And the other point I'll get to you, because I have more for my proof, not just that. The other thing that I will tell you here is that not everybody buys digital. Some people are only physical people. There are people that don't buy any digital games. They only buy physical. Now, I used to be like this. I would only buy physical. I would not buy any digital whatsoever. I used to be like this. The reason I started buying digital games is because I have to record a game at midnight. When a new game comes out, I'm a YouTuber, so I have to understand my perspective. When a new game comes out, I gotta get that video out right there at midnight. So I can't wait till the next day to go pick it up at a store, because if I don't get the video out on the game, other YouTubers are gonna get the video out, and then they're gonna go to that channel instead of mine. So it's a competition between different YouTubers also. YouTube is a competition between YouTubers. But that is it. So I download digital now because I have to get videos out like right when the games come out. Whether it's GTA or Red Dead or any other game, any other game I'm playing on my channel, I gotta download it at midnight. However, though, that's because I'm a YouTuber. I used to be back in the day where I would only purchase physical copies. That's how I was, only physical copies. And there are plenty of people out there that are like that. They're only going to buy physical copies of games. And even if the game gets delayed by, a couple, weeks for physical, it's still going to hurt their sales right at the start. Take-Two basically wants to impress their investors, showing how much the game is going to sell. And I will tell you this, a lot of times when I was a kid, even, back on the PS3 days, there was at times where sometimes I did want to download the game digitally. And what happened was I had the cash for the game, but I had no way of getting it, getting the game digitally. And so what ends up happening is, because of that, I was where I lived, in the suburbs, it was actually very far from the store. So it was literally like a 5 to 10 minute drive from the store. Probably would have been 20 minutes for me walking. And what happened was I would tell my mom, I was like, Mom, can I give you some cash and I can, download this game here? And my mom would, not let me use her card because she would tell me that she doesn't trust the PlayStation Store, and the PlayStation Store had gotten hacked before, because that did happen back in the day, got hacked, and she's like, I don't want my credit card information stolen, so she would end up driving me to the store, and we would end up, purchasing a physical copy. And there are plenty of people out there like that. There is a lot of people that are only going to want to buy physical, for different varying reasons, not just that. So people do like their physical copies. But now, if you've been watching the video up until this point here, guys, I'm going to say is, even though this guy has predicted something, supposedly, like, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Oblivion Remastered, and stuff like that, it does not mean that this leak is going to be 100% true. And here's my biggest proof that GTA Physical is not going to be delayed. It is this right here. I hope that this is not, affecting the camera too much of my NVIDIA broadcast thing. But if you see this right here, this is the biggest proof. This is GTA 4 Special Edition. I bought this on day one. It was April 28th, 2008, I think that was. I remember the end of April when this game came out. So I bought this on day one, right when it came out. Remember, me and my mom, we bought this together. Now, I wanted this because I was such a big fan of GTA. And in this, you had like a CD that gives you some music on GTA 4. You had keychains, you had a duffel bag, you had an art book, can't remember everything that was in here, but I did an unboxing on this a couple years ago. I'll link that at the end if anybody wants to watch it. But the point I'm getting at is there was a bunch of stuff in it, and including the game. And the developer, Rockstar, is going to want to sell you a collector's edition. And this is what these YouTubers are not talking about. This is the biggest proof I have right here that GTA 6 physical is not going to be delayed. Because all of these YouTubers are ignoring this. They're ignoring this part. That GTA 6 is most likely going to have some kind of collector's edition. GTA 5 had a collector's edition. I didn't buy that one. I did buy GTA 4. But I also have right here, take a look at this, and I hope this shows up in the camera. This is for my Red Dead Redemption 2. This was collector's edition. I bought this also. Now, about Red Dead Redemption 2 collector's edition, I know I'm going to have some people in the comments that are going to say to me, but Professional, Red Dead Redemption 2 collector's edition did not have the game. That I do understand, yes. So that is one argument that I will concede is against my point right there, is that's one argument. But the GTA collector's editions, GTA 4 and GTA 5 have had their games before. That's for the GTA series. The Red Dead collector's edition, it did not have the game. So I will concede that is one argument against my point there. But if GTA 6 releases a collector's edition, because I'm telling you, they are going to want to release a collector's edition, this is going to be Take-Two Interactive's probably biggest game ever they have ever done. Ever. So until the next GTA game in like 20 years from now, this is going to be their biggest game ever. And so they are not going to pass up on the opportunity to release a collector's edition. I'm telling you, from business perspective, it makes no sense to skip a collector's edition. They could throw in the stupidest junk in that collector's edition, and people are going to buy it. They can make it like $200 for the collector's edition, and people will buy it. I remember this right here. This I have. This is for the Destroy All Humans remake, collector's edition. I have this here in my office, and that bundle, it cost like, I think it was like over $500, and I bought it. And because I was a really big Destroy All Humans fan. And there's plenty of people that also bought those bundles. So they're going to try to create some big collector's edition with something like, a map, which that should technically be included in the regular physical copy of the game. But they're going to have a bunch of different stuff in there. They could have key change. They could maybe have like some artwork, a book, different things, different collectibles, maybe another duffel bag, a metal cup, stuff like that. They are going to want to put something in there. They're not going to pass up on that opportunity. And now think about it this way. If GTA 6 Physical got delayed, right? If GTA 6 Physical got delayed, then that collector's edition is going to sell a lot less copies than it would on day one. I'm telling you it will. Because the Red Dead Redemption collector's edition, that got sold out. It did. And so the GTA 6 Collector's Edition is definitely going to get sold out. So if they made 100,000 Collector's Editions, 100,000, that might seem like an insane amount of number, but I bet you that 100,000 would get sold out. Because GTA 6 is going to sell millions of copies. Millions. They're not going to want to pass that up. And if they sold like 100,000, right, Collector's Editions of GTA 6, and each Collector's Edition, let's just say, was $300. Just think about the amount of money that they're going to be making. If they delayed that by a couple weeks, I guarantee you those collector's editions would get less sales. They would. There would be less people that would buy them. And so me personally, I would, if I was not a YouTuber, guys, I'm telling you this right now. If I was not a YouTuber and GTA 6 Physical got delayed, right, I would normally buy the collector's edition if it wasn't delayed. But if it was delayed and we only had digital, I would buy digital because I wouldn't want to wait, weeks for the games to come out. But then weeks later, if the collector's edition came out, I wouldn't bother. But because I'm a YouTuber, if weeks later the collector's edition came out, I would buy it. Because I want to make a review for you guys on the collector's edition, unboxing it. So the point that I'm getting at is there's a lot of things that are just not making sense from a business perspective here. Is that they're going to release a collector's edition, they're going to want to make money from it. The only argument that I can see against that is that the collector's edition could not have the game itself. But if the collector's edition does not have the game itself, that is going to look really stupid. I'm telling you, that is going to look really, really stupid for the developer. And there's people that are going to want to buy physical copies. And at the end of the day, even if there's some ridiculous leak that comes out tomorrow, it is going to it's not going to affect the game sales. People are going to talk about it. It's going to be controversial, sure, but it is not going to affect the game sales. Like I said, think about it. If the game gets leaked tomorrow, is that really going to stop you from buying it? No, it's not. So I personally don't believe this. I don't believe it. I don't think that stuff like this is going to happen. I don't think physical is going to get delayed. I think physical is going to come out because they don't want to affect their sales at the end of the day. That's basically my whole opinion on it. I do not believe a lot of this stuff. And it's like I said, guys, Rockstar all they basically need to do is they need to put in some kind of update that if you try to put GTA 6 physically into your PlayStation, it's not going to work. That you would need to specifically download the update. And they could make it that the update only goes live on the day that it comes out. That's basically what they could do. And that would basically just stop all of this from happening. So that's how I could imagine that they could do it. And even if the game gets released digitally, the last thing that I'll say, only and then physically gets delayed for some time, it is, there's still going to be leaks. there's still going to be some leak is still going to happen. Whether that comes from a developer or something else, somebody's going to get a chance to download it early or something like that. It might not be as disastrous as a physical, leak, but a leak is still going to happen. It's going to happen with GTA 6. This game is going to get leaked, and I will tell you that a major spoiler for the story is going to get leaked right when the game comes out. The amount of coverage that this game is getting, it's going to happen regardless. So it just will. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Again, I'm not Nostradamus. I cannot predict the future here for you guys. So I'm not saying that I'm 100% correct, but I'm just telling you based on everything that I look at this from a business perspective and just how I look at things like this, I don't think that this is true. I don't think it is. I don't think it makes sense. I think physical is going to release the exact same time as digital. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you agree with me. And if you enjoyed my video, do drop a like. And if you enjoy videos like this, me talking about stuff like this, please subscribe to me if you haven't already, because it does help my channel out a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.